Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Yes, I realize for most of you it's afternoon, but that's just how we open the show around here. Hope you're well. Hope everybody's having a great day. I'm, man, I had a rough night. My ribs are in a lot of pain. And so I sat here and played Ark all night, just building because I was going to do that offline. And now I have nothing else left to do offline because I spent all night doing that. Doing that and watching videos on YouTube. Some of it about Ark, some of it about the people we're going to be talking about. A couple of videos dropped yesterday that are really interesting. One more for I don't want to call it drama because it's not. The Hasan one where it just points out what a lying piece of garbage he is. And then the Boogie one. Holy crap. If you guys have not seen that, I highly recommend it. It is in the description. Both of those are linked in the description for you. We are not going to be watching them because they did just come out. So before we get to that, though, I have a couple of things to take care of. Retro, thank you so much for that gifted sub. That one went out to Devil's Advocate. I appreciate that, my friend. Also, while we were offline, Hermes Mora, thank you so very much. That's very, very kind of you. Hey, Monkey, today it's my birthday. It's been one hell of a roller coaster ride year between my divorce and promotion/raise in my job. I listen to you and Jack while working and enjoy the insight you both bring. I'd appreciate it if you could sing cheers. Aha. Well, for you, and only you, I don't do this for just anybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hermes. I hope I'm saying that right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great one. I really, really do. I hope it's the best yet, not the best ever. So, guys, yeah, let's talk about these two idiots. Oh, fuck. How do we want to start? Do we want to start dark or happy? I feel like I want to do the happy one first, and I don't know that it's happy, the funnier one, I guess. Hasan Piker, man. Somebody asked in chat, who's Willy Mac? Willy Mac is one of my favorite YouTube creators. Don't tell him I said that. I don't want him to get a big head. I don't know that my opinion of him would do that, but, you know, I try to keep people grounded. No, he really is. He's one of my favorite YouTube creators. He covers a lot of, I mean, some of it would be considered drama, but it's not really. It's usually, I described it in chat as internet personalities behaving badly. Like he covered the Tate thing. He covered the people who went after Eugenia Cooney. What the hell's her last name? I never remember. He's covered a lot of stuff where people are just being assholes, and in this case, he's covering Hasan Piker. And what was it called? Hasan Piker, the worst. Hang on, let me get the worst political streamer wrong about everything, and he's not wrong about saying that. Like I said, we're not going to watch these because they did just drop, but I do highly recommend both. But I am going to pull up, screenshots as we talk, so we have something else to look at besides my beautiful monkey face. This right here is Hasan in the middle of yelling at somebody for pointing out he was wrong. This guy loves to go on and just talk, and he doesn't have a fucking brain. He's got tens of thousands of people who watch him live. I think the most I've ever seen is maybe 50 or 80,000. I forget. Don't quote me on that. But thousands and thousands of people watch this guy sit there for 8 to 10 hours a day doing nothing. And when something does happen and he goes to give his opinion on stuff, he gets it wrong continually. Like one of the things Willy points out, this is one of the motherfuckers who was out there going, there's no way Russia's going to invade Ukraine. This is nonsense. It's propaganda. And he kept beating that horse until, Russia invaded, which we called 6 months before it happened. We were telling you guys that was going to happen 6 months before it did because we could, see the buildup on the fucking border. It's not like that one was even hard to predict, but he knows, man. He knows. My favorite that he's done, and this was more recently, this was with the Israeli Palestinian thing. Remember the hospital that got blown to bits by them damned Israelis? Okay. So Willie misses this in the video, but Hasan makes a big deal out of the fact that it's 800 people were killed. 800 people. He's got a source on the ground. 800 people. Now, this part, Willie does point out that Hasan says this, and his source for this, I'm not making this up, is some rando on fucking Twitter. That's where he got it from. When Hamas comes out and goes, it was 300. No, it was 500. He's like, bullshit. It was 800 people. 800 people died. I got a source on the ground. The buildings fell down. There's death in the air. And he just pumps it all up. Now, there's a funny part that happens there because people start questioning, like, look, that the number, even the 500, is coming from Hamas. It's coming from the Hamas health ministry. And he's like, how dare you question them? The almighty Hamas. You're questioning them, bitch. The 500 comes from them, and you're saying they're wrong because you have some Twitter source. Just some random guy you found on Twitter who said 800. Oh my God. He's such a retard, y'all. I know I've said that about him a lot, but it is really true. If you have not watched much of Hasan Piker, you really are missing out on just the humorous value of it. You don't watch him because you think he's interesting. It's much like his uncle over there at the Young Turks, the fat guy. He just makes shit up. Just makes it up out of whole cloth. And if you call him on it, you know what he does? He bans you. Even if you're right. He spends a good 2 minutes yelling at this one guy because the guy says, hey, you need to change your title of your video, because he had titled his video, the IDF kills 800 at a hospital or something like that. And he says, you just changed what you said. You just a couple minutes ago, you're saying it wasn't them. And now you're saying it's them. And the guy didn't say it was them. But he's such an idiot, he can't even read his own chat. And he spends like 2 minutes. And then when it's finally pointed out to him that he's interpreted it completely wrong, you know what he says? You're still a genocide denying bastard. Because he can't be wrong. He can't be wrong. Hasan's such a child. Hasan's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's an idiot who got a big internet following because of his uncle, and then Destiny, something I'll never forgive Destiny for. And because he was yelling Bernie bro stuff at the right time. That's why. That's what happened with him. And like most Bernie bros, he's actually really, really stupid. Cryptic, thank you. The young turds get it right, sir. I will do my best. I will try to remember that. I will try to remember. But yeah, it is fucking funny. I would also recommend EFAP's coverage of Hasan. I didn't know they did. If you have one, send it to me, would you, Fugi? They have a couple of streams on him, and they tear him apart. He's a straight idiot. Every time we get to talk about him, it's always a pleasure for me, because I like making fun of people who are really stupid and deserve it. And few are dumber and deserve it more, because he's just an idiot. I mean, this is a guy who, even with all of the video on the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, insisted Kyle he got what he wanted. He just wanted that legit kill. He just wanted that legal kill. So this that is way too masculine for him. He just wanted that legal kill. Is that closer? Yeah, his whole thing. Kyle just went out. He just wanted to kill somebody. Doesn't matter what all of the evidence. You can watch the fucking evidence. And this idiot, no, none of that matters, because evidence doesn't matter to him, and it doesn't have to matter to him because his audience is just as dumb as he is. His content is not about getting stuff right. He said he does this thing. Oh God, it pisses me off. He did this during the what's it called? The Piers Morgan thing, right? He gets up there and he argues with Piers Morgan like he knows a fucking thing. And then, as a cop-out near the end, he's like, I'm just a streamer on Twitch. Us Twitch streamers, we're just dumb. I agree with him, don't get me wrong, but that's not an excuse when you present yourself as some kind of an authority figure. Like when me and Jack tell you, hey, we're not the smartest guys in the world, we say that because we're getting stuff right, and we're not the smartest guys in the world. This guy plays himself off as one of the smartest people out there until he gets called on being wrong. There's a great moment that Willy highlights in his video. where Hasan is just yelling at the audience. Of course, everybody on Twitch is stupid. You guys watch us, you know that. And it's almost this shield he wears. Alan, thanks so much. He says, hello, monkey. Hello, sir. I hope you're having a good day. I hope everybody had a happy Halloween. I forgot to say that at the top of the show. I said it in chat, but hope you all had a happy Halloween. I had a Halloween. I don't do anything on Halloween. I don't have children in the house, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm not hosting anything. I was going to stream, but, shit happens. But I had an okay Halloween. It was Halloween. It's a great day, right? We did get to see some trick-or-treaters. We had to go out, and we just happened to be out right as trick-or-treating was starting. And so we got to see a couple of kids are so cute when they're all dressed up for Halloween. They don't care how cold it is. It's cold as shit in Michigan right now. And they were just out there, give me some candy. Give me some candy. And I understand that as a fat diabetic. But anyway, we only got about 5 trick-or-treaters. Oh, that sucks. That means more candy for you. All right, so back to this idiot. Yeah, it is amazing how he's okay to be wrong. But that's the audience that he's cultivated. I mean, he will yell at his audience and scream at them and ban them, and then they beg to get let back in. Please, I'm so sorry I offended you, sir. Now, that's not in the video. That's some stuff you have to watch, other stuff to see. But it's this weird cultish kind of thing. Like he banishes them to go live in the wilds by themselves. Go try to make it on your own. How dare you? He even actually kind of that way. Oh, shit. I have to turn down my volume. Thank you so much, Pumpkin Hawk, for that donation with no message. Fuck, that was loud. Luckily, you guys don't hear it at my level. Wow, that threw me all the way off. Oh, that's what they cultivate in this debate, bruh, kind of community. But Willy does a really good job on this. You cannot watch this and still take this man seriously. You can't. And when you're putting it out there that you're this smart guy, and the only way you can be that smart guy is by shutting up anybody who disagrees with you. You're not smart. You're a coward, which he is. He's a cowardly liar. Kind of like the Cowardly Lion, but more vaginal. He's a cowardly liar. Not that women are liars. Just I take a shot at him for being a kind of a bitch. Remember when he was kicking? We watched the video of him kicking the pad, right, with his friend holding it, and it looks more like he's doing a rocket dance than actually kicking. Oh man. There's a moment in this video where he's talking about buying his really, really expensive car and says, hey, I'm not even sure I want to. I'm only doing this for the audience. I'm only doing this for you. Yeah. And that's not even touching on the fact that he claims to be a socialist while living the most fat capitalistic life he can. But yeah, it's funny as shit. The guy actually, I buy these expensive cars for you. He said that he bought that car, just to drive around town a little bit. What is it? I can't remember what it is. Is it a Porsche? He bought an expensive car. It's like a $120,000, $150,000 car, something like that. Pocket change to Hasan. That's like a month of his Patreon and a little bit more. Thank you, John Jones. Hasan on the Leftovers podcast a couple weeks ago did some of the fakest and most forced crying I've seen in my life. Yeah, we didn't talk about that on here. I don't think. Because, okay, so this is right after the invasion and everything, the terrorist attack, and then the Israelis firing back, getting ready for the move in on Gaza. And Ethan is up there telling a story about how he saw this video of a Palestinian father holding his dead child. And it's a sad video if you've seen it. It's a man holding his dead kid. Of course it's sad. And Ethan cries, saying, I'm a new father. He's actually been a father for a long time, but he had a new baby. And I don't know. I mean, getting that emotional about something like that seems kind of estrogen filled to me. He didn't. I mean, maybe he just cares that much about dead kids. So anytime he reads the word Chicago, he just starts, bawling his eyes out. You never see him talk about those dead kids. But so he has this crying session, and then you have Hasan spend like the next. What happens on this stream is they spend the first part of it just dogging Israel. Fuck Israel, fuck Israel, fuck Israel. And then it comes time to say fuck Hamas. And Ethan's like, yeah, but fuck Hamas, right? And Hasan has nothing really bad to say about Hamas. He just can't bring himself to do it. He just can't. But what he does bring himself to do is cry over the lost lives of them Palestinians. Oh my God, they're dying, and you still got the camera on me. Hang on, I think I can squeeze out a tear. So there are bombings and did I say the words occupation yet? Occupation. It's such a horrible thing. It's the fakest, most fucked up thing. And the funniest part about it is not even that he cried. It's that he made fun of Kyle Rittenhouse crying on the stand. He actually laughed. He watched the video and laughed. Oh, that's a fake cry. And Hasan gets up there to cover his own bullshit, and he does this ridiculous fake cry. Now, 90% of the stuff I'm talking about right now, you can see in Willie Mac's video. It's linked below. Make sure you check it out. It's a great video. Willie lets Hasan mostly just hang himself. He'll set up what's coming on up in the clip, and then he plays the clips. And it's a very quick setup, just pointing out, he'll say this, and then he'll do this. It's a really good video, and he did some really good work there. Willie Mac does a lot of good stuff in his videos. The Andrew Tate ones were funny as shit. Willie Fitzenwell, thank you so much for the donation with no message. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, Hasan, what a piece of shit, man. And to get up that fake cry, I talked about it with several people offline, and I kept meaning to bring it up on here, and it just got pushed to the side. The whole Leftovers podcast, for those of you who don't know, that's the podcast that Ethan Klein from H3H3 does with Hasan Piker. So they get together, and Hasan is like, I really like you. And Ethan's like, I really like you too. Look, I just had this unfriended podcast get destroyed. How about you and me do something where we'll just laugh a whole bunch? Seriously, that's what they were going to do. They were just going to laugh at the stupid in politics because, as Hasan said, well, that's what I do all the time. You are the stupid in politics, Hasan. So anyway, because of this whole Palestinian-Israeli thing, last I knew, that was put on hold. They're not doing that show anymore because the piece of shit on your screen right there, not me, the other one, he's pro-terrorist. I'm not couching that. That's what he is. He's pro-Hamas. He's got every excuse in the world for why it's okay for Hamas to kill people. It's perfectly fine. He's got not a bad word to say. Okay, don't kill people, but I understand why they kill people. I mean, if you're oppressed that long, you're gonna do stuff too. And what's he say? No revolution is pretty or something like that. No, I forget his exact wording, but basically, anytime you're standing up to oppression, it's gonna be ugly. Tell that to Dr. King. Anyhow, yeah, tell that to Gandhi. Anytime you're standing up to oppression, Gandhi's like, I'm just not going to eat for a while. I guess what he really should have done is blown some shit up so Hasan would think he was a good guy. But Ethan, being Jewish, being married to an Israeli Jew and having spent like 5 years of his life in Israel, he's not okay with the killing of a bunch of Jews. And Hasan just can't understand why. Like, yeah, look, nobody needs to be killed. But it's okay if some of the Jews are killed. I mean, they occupy the West Bank. Did I say West Bank yet? Gaza. So his actual crying incident is over this funeral that was in Palestine. Was it the actual journalist that this happened? they have her funeral, and the IDF moves in to arrest some people, and they took the flag, they took the Palestinian flag right off her coffin. Like the Palestinian flag means that fucking much to him, honestly. And it's just so it's so fake. It has nothing to do with what's actually going on right now. He can pull out a person, and that's his example. His example of the parking lot where he said in his original reporting, he tells us that the hospital got severe damage and so did a school near it. You know what I still haven't seen anybody say was wrong? Well, I mean, on the pro-Hamas side. Them firing rockets, because we know they were firing rockets. It's caught on Al Jazeera TV from right next to that fucking hospital. The very thing that we keep telling you Hamas does to get their own people killed, they were doing. It's on camera. Not a peep from this asshole about. He knows all about the war crimes. He didn't see that. Yeah, you're not supposed to have munitions being fired from right next to a fucking hospital, you retard. But it's fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing. Uh-oh. You know nothing of the manipulation and crimes committed by them in our own government. Typical Republican boomer brain. Oh, we got us a Hasan fan here. See, I told you they're stupid. I told you. It's like it's kind of like saying Bloody Mary in the mirror 3 times. You say it and they appear, man. It's amazing. I hate Hasan. Sure you do. Sure you do. That's why you're here telling me how I'm wrong when I'm making fun of this idiot. What was the other one that he did? There's another one with the whole hospital thing. Besides the fact, all the buildings being blown up that, are all still standing. Oh, that was it. We talked about this when it happened, was the him becoming the ballistics expert, because he know that sounded like a J-dam to me, because he knows the exact sound of all bombs because he has one video of a J-dam being dropped. It sounded the same. Could you tell me that and the difference from that sound and a conventional ordnance? I bet you couldn't. I bet you couldn't, because you're a fucking idiot streamer who's only there because your uncle already had a show and Destiny's dumb. Destiny didn't realize you were just a clout chasing dick sucker. Or maybe he did. That he is bi. But anyway, that's the Hasan one. Go watch that. That's Willie Mack, and link is in the description. It's funny as hell, and it just shows you why I make fun of this guy all the time, because he's an idiot. Now the sad one. This one's going to take a little longer. I'd seen I didn't watch the trailer, but I'd seen the thumbnail for the trailer on this Boogie documentary coming up, and I kept meaning to click it. And I didn't realize that the video dropped yesterday until Jack sent it to me. And I was thinking, oh, this is going to be, basic, your life story of Boogie, how he's throwing stuff away and ruined his own career and stuff. And it kind of is, in one of the most dark, depressing things I have seen in a long, long time. Wow. So this is not really covering all of his controversies and stuff. It's not even really covering his fall from grace. I'm going to get heavily into this video, so if you want to watch that without spoilers, you're going to want to stop now, go watch that, and come back later. There's your warning. The name of this is The Dark Sad Life of Boogie 2988, and they are not lying. It's all about how he's beyond broke, how he's thrown everything away and has nothing left. Not just less than nothing, he has less than nothing. He owes more than he can possibly pay at the moment. And I guess we can begin. They begin with him in the tub, and you can see that he's, put back on a lot of weight. But he shows us what he calls his meat curtains. He's got 2 of them, y'all. And he says that's what the ladies really love. Later, they have a prostitute tell us that she had to dig through a bunch of fat folds to get to his wiener. That was a nice thing to listen to. They actually tracked down one of the prostitutes he once was with, and she said being with him is why she got out of the life. So there you go. That's how you get women out of prostitution. You have them have sex with Boogie. Dark Resurrect, thank you so much for that. Feminist, $12. I finally reached it. I've reached my... Okay, Phil, there it is. I'm sorry, I'm not wearing my glasses. I really should put them on. I've reached my fill of human stupidity. I just met someone who actually thinks Hamas has been falsely labeled a terrorist organization by Israeli propaganda. Wow. Yeah, it's amazing what people will believe. Oh, we really should switch this too. Now, I have this picture on the screen instead of the very next second of this video, or maybe it's the second right before, where you get a full torso shot of Boogie walking down his neighborhood naked. Now, I don't mean to question the guy who made this video, but that's something I have a feeling you had him do on purpose, and I hate you for that a little bit. I didn't need to see his titties. I really didn't. They look like somebody squished a couple of pumpkins on his chest. It's nasty. But the video talks mostly about how he's thrown everything away and how he has nothing left. And that includes all of his money, his collectibles. He's getting rid of all of those so he can try to pay his bills. Talks about his medical issues, the massive amounts of medical bills that he has. According to the documentary, and this is all coming from Boogie. He was part of this. This isn't one of those where people just talk about him. They talk to him for this documentary. He has about $7,000 worth of bills each month, and he's bringing in about $3,000. Bringing in about $3,000 with $7,000 a month in debt. And even with that, they catch him wasting money throughout this whole thing. Very early on, he tells us that his big screen TV that he plays his games on and he watches TV on, the sound started going out a little bit. Now, this is after he's already told us he's only got $700 to live for the month. That's to pay his, or to buy food, any emergencies, that kind of stuff. The sound goes a little funny. There's a little hissing with the S. When people say S, there's a little glitch to it. So he immediately runs to Amazon and buys a $100 sound bar. And then the TV just fixes itself. He couldn't possibly have to listen to a TV with a little in when they say S's. Not Boogie. And yeah, no, that's for peasants. Why not spend $100? 1/8 of what he has, because he has like, I think that this time in the video they're telling us he has like $765. He spent 100 of that on a sound bar that he ended up not needing. Did he return it? Anybody want to guess? Yeah. It's tragic. Now, they attribute his downfall to around 2018 when people started talking about this document that was put together about him, and everybody started coming after him over it with all kinds of allegations about him. I think we've even talked about that document on the show before. But that's not where his downfall really starts. His downfall actually started a little bit sooner than that, when Boogie started jumping into political conversations that he didn't know anything about and saying the wrong fucking thing and having to jump back up on his fence post afterwards. And he did this several times over and over again. I mean, this is a guy who came out and defended Anita Sarkeesian when she ripped into him when he didn't do anything wrong, because he answered a question he was asked on a panel they were on. And so she confronted him over it afterwards. This is where his downfall really starts, and he starts getting I don't want to say angry. That comes a little bit later. But he starts getting a little bit resentful towards his audience for it. I was just giving my opinion. Well, shut up. You don't know anything. Shut the fuck up until you do. That's not hard to do. Hasan, it's not hard to shut up until you have the actual facts. But that's where Boogie's downfall started. And maybe that's what kicked off why somebody finally put together that thing. But there is a noticeable decline around 2018 where everything just goes to shit for him. And they show the amount of money he's made on YouTube. And in 2019, he made, I think it was 400, it's either $495,000, $498,000. That was his income in 2019. Just 4 years ago, 400,000, almost $500,000, $500,000. The next year was down to I think it was 120. And by 2022, it was down to $20,000, something like that. He just pissed away his audience. And he's done it slowly, and they don't really go over this too much in the video. Maybe in the middle, they touch on it a little bit. They bring in these experts who help people build their channels. And he asked the one expert, he goes, "What can you do to revive his channel?" And the guy's just silent for a second. He goes, nothing. He can go get a job. He can't get his audience back. Because Boogie had two appeals. One, really, if we're being honest, his Francis videos. That's where he blew up. William Johnson finds one of the Francis videos, finds out it's fake, shows it anyway, and tells people to go watch Boogie stuff. But Boogie was also doing these. Remember, Francis is not Boogie's only character. You guys know that, right? He tried several different characters before the Francis one blew up. But he did these lifestyle vlogs before that was really even kind of a thing, where he would just talk to the audience, and he was always upbeat. He was always putting on a happy face. He was always like, you might be in a bad situation, but thank the Lord for what you do have, kind of stuff. Which, by the way, that's something I honestly believe in. If I didn't, I couldn't do what I do. And he might have at the time, but he clearly doesn't anymore. Because he goes from being this guy who makes silly sketches and does these upbeat lifestyle videos and some gaming videos where he gives his opinion on that. And then things start to fall apart for him, and he gets angry. And he starts doing this really pathetic thing where he has several times where he hints he's gonna off himself on Twitter, and then he comes out later. No, I'm not gonna off myself, guys. I'm not. But he always puts it out there, and he would drama bait about how horrible his life is, and so he goes from being this really happy character to being this. If you watch this video, it'll make puppies cry. The happy little puppies, if you show them this, they will cry because it is that pathetic. And all he does is whine and whine and whine about shit. And that's what the guy who gives the advice was saying. He's so completely changed into somebody nobody even wants to watch. Nobody wants to watch somebody bitch about themselves for 2 hours a day. Nobody wants to watch a guy who's going out there going, "Hey guys, I can't pay my bills. Can you pay him for me, please? Come on, somebody, please, 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 please. I'm trying to buy this Tesla. I'm trying to buy. You guys buy this Tesla for me." Now, here's something that's not brought up in that video, and I really wish they would have. If he was making almost $500,000 in 2019, if you go back to 2016, before the adpocalypse, there's no way this guy wasn't pulling down at least $1 million. There's no way. Not if he's making $495,000 after it. There's just no fucking way. Unless he got some major sponsorship deals. Either way, he was making a ton of money for a long time. And we've discussed this. I mean, we talked about it because of OnlyFans girls and stuff like that. But this This is true for anybody. If you suddenly come into a bunch of cash, don't go spend it all because you don't know when that gravy train's going to end. This is why sports stars who make millions and millions and millions of dollars end up broke. Actors who were on hugely popular things, made millions and millions, millions of dollars, end up fucking in the gutter. Don't spend all your money. Live like you were living. Maybe a slight upgrade. But probably the most appalling thing I heard through this whole thing. They tell us in between 2019 and 2021, Boogie spent $200,000 on hookers. I'll say that again. 2019 to 2021, this man spent $200,000 on whores. $200,000. Now, he's got a reason. You see, he dated pretty girls before, but they're like an Arkansas 8. He never got to bang a LA 10. He never got to date an LA 10. But because of his money and whores, he was able to bang several LA 10s. And he deserved, doesn't he? He actually said, don't I deserve that? I deserve to bang a 10. What? You're bitching about not being able to pay for your Tesla or your mortgage, and you spent $200,000 on prostitutes? I almost turned it off right there. This man paid more money than most people make in a year on whores over a 3-year period. What's that break down to? Almost $80,000 a year? What would it be? No, it's almost $70,000. It's $68,000 a year on hookers. That is more than most people make in a year. He was doing it, just spending on hookers. And I was like, I don't know how to pay my bills. Go back in time and unfuck those whores, dummy. Oh, whoops, that's not how linear time works. Cryptic, thank you. Hoary shit, fat man. Right. I couldn't believe it. And with his problems that he's having, I mean, you can look at his house, right, and see that he wasted all his money. He's buying all these collectibles, all these fucking magic cards because I deserve to play magic. At one point, he tells us he's going to have to sell a whole bunch of his collectibles, and he actually goes to a card shop and sells this guy some cards, expecting to get $1,000 out of it. Well, the cards have declined in worth, so he only got $400 out of it. And he's like, well, this will help me make my mortgage. Plus, I got to pay $30 to go play Magic because it's kind of embarrassing to tell people you're broke and can't pay $30 to play Magic. He says this on film. He knows he's being recorded when he says it. But I guess it's better for them to watch it and see, because then maybe they'll feel sorry for him. Don't anybody watch this shit and feel sorry for him. He spent $200,000 on hookers. This is only his doing. There's a bright spot in the film near the end. Boogie got himself a new girlfriend. And we're back. I don't know where it cut off. Sorry about that. Real quick, thank you, F. It's mind-blowing how people can blow through money. I got $50,000 after Dad's death. I paid off my debt and used it to further my education with trade school. Still have 45-ish left. Yeah, look, I understand blowing through money. I do. Done it myself. But we bought things for the house to last a lot. We did not go extravagant. We bought a living room set. We bought bedroom sets. We still have all of this stuff 20 years later. We bought things we needed because we were really poor and we're living on secondhand merchandise. We probably should have saved more than we did. We didn't spend any of it on hookers. But anyway, getting back to his little girlfriend he picked up. They met on the gram, don't you know, on Instagram. She hit him up and they started talking, and he realized they're the same person. He can't pay his mortgage. She's moved in with him. She don't have no job. And she actually says this at one point when she's talking about him. I really like him. And for somebody who grew up without a dad figure, like, stop right there. No, Boogie, I get it. You finally got somebody to touch your wiener without paying for it. Kick her out. You're paying for it a different way. You are her meal ticket. Sure, it's a meal ticket paid for with food stamps, but you are her meal ticket. Stop it. Stop it. They're actually discussing near the end, the two of them, what do we do if you run out of all your money? And he's like, will you still love me? And she's like, yeah, yeah. It's one of the saddest parts of the whole movie because you can see she thought he still had money when they got together. She didn't realize she was signing up to be, poor. She's already poor. Oh, God. By the way, YouTube creators, stop fucking your audience. Stop using your audience as a dating pool, for fuck's sake. Oh, my God. And you women out there are looking to people on the internet. I'm like, I wonder if he'll put it in me. He will. And shit'll go wrong. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Boogie seems like a nice fellow. He's not. He's really not. And I don't know if he ever was. If all along, if you go back, there's certain streams you can find him talking about, when he used to have his more nice guy personality. And he actually says, I think it's when he went to Twitch and he's talking about on his gaming streams, this is the real me. And he's kind of an asshole. He's just a fucking jerk. And he's like, over there, I have to be nice. And it almost gives you the impression that the nice guy act was an act. But if you actually watch Boogie, the guy's kind of a douchebag. He's an ass. I mean, this is a guy who said he deserves to bang a 10. I just deserve it. Don't I deserve that in my... No, you don't. Have you seen yourself? You don't even deserve a -3. You made a prostitute quit. That's how fucked up you are. No, you don't deserve to bang a 10. Like that's some kind of entitlement. Jesus Christ, man. How about getting a decent personality and a shape that's not just blob? And then you can talk about what you deserve. Oh, and I'm not going to comment on the looks of his young chick. I will say this. There's a shot of them walking away from the camera, and her shorts are so short that if she sneezed, a lip would have flew out. You can perfectly see the bottom of her ass cheeks, probably a good 2 or 3 inches of them in her shorts that she's wearing. Yeah, Boogie, she loves you, bruh. Boogie is he's a case study, and I'm glad these two are together, Hasan and Boogie, because Hasan, seriously, you need to pay attention to Boogie and save all your money, dude, because you're riding high right now, and that's good for you. Other than the fact you're a liar and support terrorists, I don't have anything against you other than you're stupid. But stop spending money on stupid shit you don't need, because fame's a fickle bitch. Boogie is a warning to anybody who's doing well. And for the record, I am not one of those people who thinks, hey, you're doing well on YouTube, make sure you keep your day job. You can get fired from a day job just as much as you can get, unfamous all of a sudden. That shit can happen. I know tons of people who went to work thinking, hey, I have a nice secure job, and at the end of that shift didn't. So I'm not one of those people. But I do think when fortune is smiling upon you, you need to save your goddamn money, because there's going to be times when it's not. And it doesn't matter what profession you're in. But here's another reason I say Boogie's not a good person. The guy who's making the documentary, he actually pauses it about halfway through. And he's like, this is not the documentary I thought I was going to be making. Because I actually had to take a break because it's just that damn depressing. He was just hanging out with him. It's depressing. And so he goes back and he's talking with him again. I think it's like 3 months in between when they talk. And he tells Boogie, he goes, look, man, this is after he talks to the creator helper guy. And he's like, you probably just need to get a job. And Boogie, he goes down to an employment agency and he sits down with him. And the lady goes, okay, tell me about yourself, your work experience and that stuff. And he says, well, let's see. If you look me up online, you're gonna hear that I beat my wife and that I'm a pedophile. He goes, I'm a felon. She goes, well, what kind of felony? And he goes, the aggravated assault. It's from when he pulled the gun and fired it. And he just keeps naming all these reasons why he can't do stuff. He goes, I'm a, what, how does he say it? I'm disabled according to the state and federal governments. I'm overweight, so I can't do a lot of moving and stuff. And she actually, he goes, so what do you think? And she goes, I don't know if we can if we'll be able to help you or not. She goes, but you just keep saying, I can't. And if your answer is I can't, then you can't. And they get back to him and they're like, yeah, we're not going to be able to place you. And mostly it was because of the gun charge, the aggravated assault. They're like, we nah. So they tell him that, and he calls up the guy who's making the documentary and he tells him, I went to look for a job, and he goes, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I got 4 million subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to go do that instead. I'm gonna go get that done. He's not even willing to. He's not a good person. He's an entitled person. He's somebody who had a taste of fame. And look, I'll be honest with you. I'm glad I never had that run-in with fame. I'm glad we only got as big as we did. I would love it if we got bigger. But everybody I see, whoever gets that taste, man, it seems to destroy them when it leaves. They can never get that back the way it was, and they just break down. It's so sad. And oh God, seriously, if you watch this thing, just understand it is depressing. And it's not even depressing because of what they're telling you about him. I mean, that's bad. It's horrible for what it's him. He is just a happiness suck. He is a joy vampire. Just the way he even speaks is like, how does mundane conversation just suck the joy out of things? But you let fame be like power, and power is a poison. Well, fame is power in many ways. If you're famous, people think you're smart for some reason. Most famous people are no smarter than anyone else. And it's not all of it's even luck. I mean, part of it is, but part of it is that they go into professions where you get famous. That's all. Oh man, the prostitute, even she kind of describes trying to find his penis. It's so sad. Oh, and she says he has a little penis. Oh, that's horrible. It's just such a bad thing. It really is. It really is. It's a really good documentary. It's really well done. I don't know if this guy's done it before, if this is the kind of thing that he does on a regular basis. It's the first video on his channel, so I have no idea. Boogie makes Droopy Dog seem happy-go-lucky. He makes Eeyore seem more like Tigger, for fuck's sake. Yeah, and it's all his fault, man. He decided that he needed to fight with people. This is what I tell you guys so often. This dossier about him comes out. And I mean, if he wants to address it, he can. But when you do that, you address it and you move on with your life. And instead of doing that, he had to go out there and fight everybody. And that's a bad way. Anytime somebody does that, their career immediately tanks. Yeah, if you're going to address it, and then just move on and ignore it the rest of the time. Hey, I've already addressed that. Let's move on with life. That's the tried and true way to do it. But so many of these people, they're so wrapped up in their own ego. And for somebody like him who claims, growing up was so hard for him, which I'm not doubting it was. He says he was abused as a child. I have no idea if that's true. Oh my God. You know what this motherfucker does? He goes out and does mushrooms because, there's some research out there, some of it coming in from overseas and stuff, that if you take hallucinogenics, it resets your brain, right? And all the bad shit goes away. So he goes out to the woods with some guru motherfucker and he does mushrooms. And while he's doing the mushrooms, the guy's asking him about his alter egos. He doesn't have alter egos. He has characters he plays on TV. He's just a douche. But then he wakes up and he's like, you can clearly tell he's faking this almost new persona. And it's so sad. It's so sad. It's just another grift. It's just another way to try to get people to be like, oh, the old Boogie's back. He finally exorcised those demons. He's a horrible piece of shit. I'm just going to say it. Boogie's a bad person. He is a very bad person. Him and Hasan are both bad people, just in very different ways. They're both inauthentic, but in different ways. Hasan is out there grifting pseudo-political wonks. Boogie's out there just trying to con everybody. Look, if you're fat, you got to be the jolly guy, right? Well, if you're going to play that character, you got to stick to that character. And a lot of his fans left with his constant woe is me bullshit. Look, guys, I'll tell you from time to time, look, it's a rough day, but I always tell you I'm happy because my life is good. It's very good. I have beautiful children. I have beautiful granddaughters. I have a loving wife. I have a roof over my head, food in my belly. I have things to entertain me. I'm a happy guy. I'm in pain constantly. And that's just a reality of my life. And sometimes it makes it so I can't do shit. But I'm still happy. That's not I couldn't fake that. And I don't understand how people can. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not going to be on here because I don't want to put that shit on you guys. I don't want to come in and go, guys, sometimes I just get so down about it. Oh my God, I can barely do this. It's almost like I'm talking about Palestinian flags. Last night I was sitting here and I was in so much pain. And no, I was in pain. It sucked. You know what? I got over it. Well, actually, it still fucking hurts. That's the truth. It still fucking hurts. I told my wife, I told her I'm gonna go do a stream because I didn't do one last night. She goes, why didn't you do one? Because my fucking ribs hurt. She goes, oh. She said, but now I have things I can make fun of, and that's a lot easier to do. And it makes me laugh and makes me feel better. Monkey fell down the stairs for all our sins. No, actually, I have fallen down the stairs twice in the last maybe month and a half. But I think I told Jack this on the stream a few nights ago. I haven't had bad falls. I've actually had slides. I end up sliding down my left side and it just beats the hell out of my left ass cheek and my elbows. It hasn't been too bad. I haven't even fallen down standing recently. It's been pretty good. Here's a truism you need to learn, okay? If you stand around or sit around and whine about life and life sucks and nothing ever goes right, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If all you ever see is negativity, then all you're going to get is negativity. If you say my life sucks, then of course your life sucks. Does it mean your life actually sucks? No, but that's how you're going to interpret it. Woe is me. My life sucks. There's nothing good in my life. Bullshit. Bullshit. Everybody's got good in their life. There's somebody out there who has the worst life. And if you think about that, that's pretty fucked up. You're not them. I promise you. I know because you can listen to me right now. That guy or girl can't. They probably don't even have ears. If you go out there and go, I have a pretty good life. Things go pretty good. Yeah, there's a setback here and there, but mostly everything's good. Then you know what? Mostly everything's going to be good. And if you really think about it, even if you're one of those people who has just the most negative life, my life sucks all the time. If you actually stop and think about it, it's moments in your life that suck. Because that's how suck happens. It's moments in your life. And then you dwell on it. And what should have been a day or a week, you turn into 2 years of your life whining and bitching about it. Boogie. And that becomes your life. You're overtaken by this negativity. When in reality, it was a bad day. It was a bad week. They happen. And if you actually paid attention to the rest of what happened that month or that year, you'd realize actually most of it was just at worst mundane. You probably ate. You probably had a bed to sleep in. You had a roof over your head. You had entertainment. You had video games or streams or movies, whatever it is that you do for entertainment. You were able to do it. Maybe it was a bad job. We had to go there you have a bad job. You want to know the best thing to do? Leave it at the door. When you get home, that job doesn't exist anymore. Deep breath. Go enjoy yourself. It's your time. Don't let negativity live rent free in your head, for fuck's sake. And that's what Boogie did. Whether he was always like that or not, I mean, like I said, there's that one stream where it really seems like he said he, lied about who he was all along. But I don't know. What I do know is now he's just a sad sack. A really large sad sack with a lot of droopy skin. Oh, God, why'd they have to show that? He actually so it starts off with him in a bathtub and he wears a bathing suit and he gets out and he's got this skin flap that covers the top of the bathing suit. And then he lifts that up and pulls his bathing suit down a little bit so he can pull out his second flap of skin. It's so fucking gross. Bruh. That's so nasty. But I highly recommend watching both of those videos. They are in the description. Those are right to the videos. If you enjoy the content, check out the rest of Willie Max. Like I said, the guy who made the Boogie one, this is the only thing that's on his channel. Well, there's the trailer for this as well. I guess you could give that a watch. But I will be keeping an eye on this guy. This isn't that. Oh, I almost said gay. That that really gay one that was done on Jake Paul by the guy who was pretending to whack off to Will Smith's daughter. Shane Dawson, that's it. It's not Shane Dawson YouTube documentary. This is documentary quality. It's really well done. Really well done. So check it out, man. It's sad. I recommend watching this one and then the Hasan one. So you get depressed and then you get to laugh at Hasan. Either way, watch them both. They're really good. I'm gonna wrap this one up because, well, I have nothing else to talk about. Actually, Lady Monkey will be getting off work before too much longer. I really need to sleep, man. I haven't slept. I have not slept. Wait, when did I wake up yesterday? Around now. Yeah, I've been up for about 24 hours now. And I'm not going to sleep for a little while until my rib finally calms down because there's not a good way to lay in bed without your ribs. I've learned that in my life. But thank you, Nuts. Does feel better. I'll be fine. I'm fine. These are the little things I'm talking about. It sucks for tonight, and a week from now, I'll forget this happened, and not just because of my medicine. That's what I want to leave you with. When you do have those bad moments in your life, as long as you're not a dweller, say you just have a really bad day. It's Monday. You go into work, the boss is riding your ass. You get home, your wife is just bitching at you. You get a bill you weren't expecting. And it's just everything that could go wrong goes wrong that day. A year from now, you're not going to remember that day at all. Maybe your wife will go, hey, remember that time you had that really bad day? But it's not going to enter your mind. You're not even going to think about it. It's a moment in time. Let it be that. Enjoy yourself. It's what life is for. What's the meaning of life? Enjoy it. It's a gift. And on that, ladies and gentlemen, on that overly preachy monkey note, you guys have yourselves a good day. I will try to talk to you guys again later tonight. It'll probably be after a nap, though. So take care of yourselves. I love you, and I will see y'all next time. Boogie is fat and sad. Hasan's a fucking liar. I'm not going to make that rhyme. I just wanted to sing it.